Hey, Grubgun here, and this is my 2012 gaming collecting in year in review, I guess. Um, so yeah, I've been collecting video games for since about February or March of 2012. Before that, of course, being 40 some odd, I have had video games. I started out with the Atari when I was a kid, unwrapping it under the Christmas tree. So I've been gaming for a long time, and I've acquired a lot of shit and then got rid of a lot of shit. I had a pretty vast GameCube collection at one point, and I gave it away to my nephew about 7 or 8 years ago for Christmas. He got a GameCube, Game Boy player, and like 30 games, strategy guides. I just gave him the whole lot because I figured, hey, I'm not going to play them anymore, and they're just taking up room. So, yeah, I had a PlayStation with about a PS2 with like 30 games that I just gave away because it was just taking up room. So basically, I had to start from scratch in about February. And what happened is I was sitting around over Christmas, over the holidays last year, because I don't work through like the end of November to March. So I had no games to play. I replayed Fable, the first Fable on the 360, because I had fuck all else to play. And it was at that point that I realized I need fucking video games to tide me over for the next year, for the following winter. So I thought, well, I'll get a couple of RPGs and stuff, and games that will take me a while to finish, and then I can sit there and play those. I'll have 10 or 20 games to play. Well, it didn't quite work out that way. And when I first started filming videos, it was I didn't even really think about like quality or anything like that. When I first started filming, I was using this piece of shit camera, which is just basically a Sony, what is it called? Anyway, it's just a handheld camera with video on it. Now, of course, I had to upgrade, and when I did, I was so happy because I then moved on to this camera, which, of course, works awesome. Fuck. So yeah, so as you see, there's been a vast improvement over the camera. But anyway, my first game that I actually got, I ordered from eBay, because I didn't really go out and do any shopping at thrift stores, because I thought, I'm not digging around in a bunch of shit. I watched pickup videos and, those out in the wild videos on YouTube, and I saw people digging through garbage, and I thought, no, there's a bunch of shit at swap meets and stuff like that, and I thought, there's no fucking way I'm gonna invest the legwork in going out and looking for games. Well, of course, that changed quite quickly, but the first game I got that really started everything, let's see if I can find it. Of course, I probably won't be able to. Here it is. Eternal Darkness. I always heard about this game, and I thought, okay, I'm going to play it. So I got this from eBay. And so I started picking up, I got a few other games, RPG games from eBay in the beginning. Skies of Arcadia, Tales of Symphonia, Skies of Arcadia. I got these ones, this one I was getting hooped on fucking prices on video games, like these 3 games cost me as much as fucking, they cost me a lot of money anyway. So I started acquiring games, and I was only going to collect for GameCube. That was it. Because it was, I figured if I had a focus, I would be able to just stick to that and not spend a lot of money. Well, so I went to a thrift store one day. It was about a month into my collecting. and I saw a whack of RPGs, JRPGs and shit for the PS2. And in the back of my mind, I started hearing the ever-present niggling words of, don't walk away from awesome video games. Like, people would buy things that they didn't need on the YouTube, right? So I thought, well, I can't walk away from these games. So I ended up buying a bunch of PS2 games, which are still basically right at the front here. I got just some RPGs. I didn't even have a PS2 at the time. So, of course, you know, you get 8 or 9 PS2 games that look really good. My first thought was, I'm going to have to get a PS2. So, I did. I looked on Craigslist, started looking, and I got a deal on the PS2 and stuff like that. So then, I broadened out to PS2. And, of course, after I found those games in the wild, I began to go to other places, like Value Village and that kind of thing, and I fucking didn't realize how many people wanted to get rid of video games and that they were only fucking selling them for $3. So when that happened, my GameCube collection fucking grew exponentially because I no longer was buying from eBay. I was going out and looking in the wild. So every game I saw, I had no idea. Like, there were just piles and piles of games. And when you have none and they're $3, well, my mindset was just like, grab whatever the fuck you can because you never know. Like, these could have been here for a year and you're picking them all up and they're never going to be restocked. So, because my mindset, I didn't know what the fuck to do. But the thing is the curse of the PlayStation 2 games is that there's fucking millions of them. You can't not run into a PS2 game. So the curse is at $3, I was pretty well buying fucking everything I saw. And like my GameCube collection, there's only about 100 games. There's like, yeah, I think there's 101 games in there. Now, that's over the course of the year. Now, the PS2 stuff started a few months after my GameCube collection started, and as you see, it's fucking huge. It starts here and goes all the way down to fucking camera, all the way down to here. These are all PS2 games. Boom, boom, boom. Now, granted, 75% of them are shit and shelf filler. And I had no idea. I was buying fucking sports titles. You know what I mean? Like NASCAR, for fuck's sakes. Like, fuck off. But, so I also started looking on Craigslist and getting giant bundles of games. Like, I got 40 games for $50 that included Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2 and, you know, just crazy amounts of fucking awesome games. And so I was just going crazy buying this stuff. So my collection fucking grew. It was crazy. Like, if you look back at my pickup videos, even still to this day, I come home and sometimes I've got a stack of games like this. I don't even know when I'm going to make time to play them. I mean, I only intended to fucking buy games to play over the winter. Well, bullshit on that. That fucking plan went out the window. And so this is the thing. So I get a PS2, and of course I think to myself when I'm out, well, a PS2 will play PS1 games, so I might as well pick up those as well. Well, yeah, so now I've got fucking 4 shelves worth of PS1 games. Now, granted, some of those are total crap, but, you know, when you start running into fucking, you know, Silent Hill for $2, you buy shit. So you end up buying, like, now I've got a lovely collection of PS1 games. So there you go. See, it expanded right there just from PS2 to PS1. So that, now I was looking at 3 systems. I never intended on collecting cartridges. I always thought fucking, once CD games came out, the fucking cartridge was dead. It's just a fucking redundant system that's bullshit, you know, like. And then I fished out my Nintendo 64. my original Nintendo 64. I've had that for, well, that's the box to it up there. But yeah, that's my original 64 and all my old cartridges. I fished these out, and I started playing that again. And so on that, I began to pick up 64 stuff. And I walked away from so much 64 stuff in the first 3 or 4 months. I never even looked at it. I flipped past it to see the fucking other games. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I know for a fact I walked away from, like, 3 Mario Karts, fucking Mario 64s. I just walked away from... I mean, I've got those games, but the thing is, you know, for $3, for fuck's sakes, why didn't I buy them? I still think that. But, you know, having doubles, it's just trade fodder and shit like that. Anyway, blah. But yeah, so on that, once I started doing the 64 stuff, you can see 64 cartridges. I'm collecting those now. So the curse continued in that now it's 3 things. And then, of course, once I fished out my 64, I fish out my fucking original Xbox. And, sorry for the camera on the screen, but I don't trust this fucking camera, so I have to really keep track of the focus. I pull out my old Xbox. Now, I love the Xbox. I fucking love that system. It's quiet. It fucking runs properly. It's not a 360, you know what I mean? There's no ring of death on the motherfucker. I pulled it out of my fucking storeroom, and it's been in there for it was in there for like 5 years. Plugged it in, boom, it worked. So then I started looking around for Xbox games. Now, my Xbox games, they're not that many. They just go from there to there. It's about 25 or 30 games. So, but still, you know, from a collection that had basically nothing to 30 games, because they're $3 a piece, right? And I was really happy to start collecting for Xbox, because it was a system that I never really fucking got to appreciate. You know, when these systems were new and sitting here, when I had them new, cartridges were $60. Fucking games for the Xbox, the prices haven't changed on video games. So you only buy one game and you play the fucking living shit out of it. But when you're getting them for $3, you buy every fucking game you've ever fucking thought about playing and stick it on your shelf and think, okay, well, now you're in the storehouse, and that's where it's supposed to be. You know, like, it's better here than in the fucking someone else's house. That's the way I was looking at it. It's better Grubgun gets it than somebody else gets it. I know it's kind of selfish, but I figured I'm late in the game. I'm going to take everything that I can find, right? So yeah, so with the Xbox, I looked on Craigslist and stuff like that. I now have a spare Xbox. Where is it? It's over there. There's my spare Xbox, my 360, which isn't even plugged in. Spare PS1 and a spare Wii. So, you know, everyone needs a spare Wii. Oh, and then my big fat PS2 up there as well that I just got. So that's my spare PS2. And down here, oh yeah, I forgot to totally forgot to mention the Genesis. I bought that for $15 or $10 or something like that, and now I get Genesis stuff. So I got a Genesis, a Wii, and a PS2 sitting there as well. So yeah, that's just in the last year, like less than a year, I've managed to acquire all of this shit. 100 fucking GameCube games. I don't even know, 150 fucking PS2 games, 25, 30 of this. I haven't done lots of fucking PS1 games. I even managed to fucking big up my DS collection. And of course I pulled out my old Game Boy, boxed Game Boy games, so that, you know, just to have them on the shelf. Just, you know, that's the thing, is like, and all of this stuff up here has been acquired in the last year. The DK Bongos, the awesome orange GameCube from Soft Otaku sent that to me. I got these two. These were like $10 a piece. Boxed GameCube I bought. Boxed PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of stuff that I've managed to grab in the last year. And the boxed PlayStation was $5. Like, who's gonna say fucking no to that, right? So, and I mean, I never intended for it to get this crazy. I never intended to to amass this much shit in that little amount of time. And in fact, it's not impressive. It's kind of embarrassing because other people take a long time and fucking consider their purchases, and I just go, there's fucking games, buy fucking games, I gotta buy fucking games. You know, it turned from I'm a gamer to a collector. I've always been a collector. I collected Doctor.WHO books for years, and I got them all. And, you know, up to like 4 years ago, I got them all. Like, all. I had like hundreds and hundreds, I still have them, of Doctor.WHO books. I put them away because, well, there's no room in here, but the video games started to take precedent. You know, who needs reading when you can read text on a fucking JRPG, right? It's reading. So, yeah, like, that's basically... Oh, yeah, and of course, everyone knows about the fucking Wii U. Grab that as well. You know, that's the thing. I had to do that because... You know, I did it for you guys. I did it for you guys. So, yeah, that's really just kind of a breakdown of the year. Breakdown. Kind of appropriate. But of the year of collecting for me, you know, I've even expanded out. I've got some PS3 games, even though I don't have a PS3, and I don't intend on getting one until it drops down to the fucking price that I like. Or maybe I can find one on my parents' discard table. Hope springs eternal, right? But yeah, like, acquisition of games, like, I don't have a problem. Oh yeah, here, I'll show you this too, just in case. This is my DSi XL. I picked that up for 52 cents when I traded in a bunch of games. So this is another acquisition that, you know, I never thought I'd have, and then I did have. But that's the thing. Oh yeah, and now with Super Nintendo, I've collected Super Nintendo games. I don't even have a Super Nintendo yet. But that's the thing. Now I'm back to cartridges. I've returned to the fucking world of cartridges after just basically lambasting the fucking idea. No cartridges for me. This fucking bullshit ancient technology that's on a fucking board. Chips and shit. Who fucking needs that? Well, evidently I need that because now I'm buying them. So it's the curse of the collector. I always want to acquire more. Even when I'm broke, I want to go out and get shit. It never seems to end. I mean, right now I'm having a little financial problems, and I still want to go out and buy shit, but I'm holding off because I need to fucking get my shit together before. I mean, this is already a fucking pretty good collection. I don't really need to do anything else. You know, I don't need to try and impress here. I did good, I think, is what I'm saying. Over the last year, I kind of went crazy, but I did good. So, yeah, that's just what happened in the last year collecting. I probably won't do a 2013 year in review because, I mean, you're gonna end up seeing all this shit that I hold up in the next year. I mean, my real only collecting goal for the next year would be a Dreamcast. That's pretty well the only thing that I want to get, because it's something I never had. I never even experienced the Dreamcast. Well, I never experienced Genesis either. I never had one. I was always a Nintendo guy, so when I got the Genesis, I was like, oh wow, this thing's actually not that bad. I was kind of impressed. But yeah, it's basically just a Dreamcast. If I can locate one on Craigslist for 20 bucks or 30 bucks, I'll pick that up. I'd like it boxed, but, you know, that's just me. I don't have room in this fucking dump to keep a boxed anything, but, you know, that's pretty well it. You know, if I see a Sega fucking Saturn, I'll buy it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm never gonna buy that thing, or, you know, if I see another console or a cheap this or a cheap that, I'll get that. But Dreamcast is really my only goal in the next year. I've already got Dreamcast games, so, you know, I've got shit to play on it. So yeah, that's it. That's my year in review. My video game year in review, the personal year in review, that's a whole other video, which I'm not gonna make. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out on my channel, everyone, and thanks for watching, and I appreciate all the comments that I get. I mean, I never expected to get 200 some odd subscribers in less than a year, so I really appreciate it. I want to thank every single one of you. Every single one of you sent me stuff and I've done trades with. You're all fucking awesome. You're all awesome. I mean, I even managed to have my own special troll that writes stuff on my channel. I mean, you know, I even appreciate the troll. You know what I mean? You know who you are. So yeah, that's it. That's the Grubgun collecting year in review. It's kind of mental, but what the fuck? I mean, if rational fucking thought patterns went along with collecting video games, I would only have the games I want. I wouldn't have NASCAR. I wouldn't have you know, Carol Vorderman's Sudoku. I wouldn't have those games, but sometimes you need to shelf pad to make, you know, just to fucking reinforce the fact that, you know you're buying shit sometimes. But it's okay to buy shit sometimes. I mean, that's the way it goes. So yeah, anyway, I appreciate everyone out there, and I want to thank everybody for subscribing and supporting me in a whole bunch of different ways throughout the year, and thanks a lot. So I'm just gonna fucking say thanks and say this is Grubgun signing out. Thanks a lot and see you later. Better check the camera. Fucking piece of shit.